Can one love without seeing? That is the question for today. And before I start, essentially this video is about my sublime failure as a producer to create those two interviews with Sicilian artisans. But I think I learned a lot from it, and I'm gonna share with you my experience. The question of can we love without seeing was a question that I actually asked an archaeologist that I met in Pompeii. Her name is came up to me when she saw me taking photos, and she's like, do you mind if I have a look? And I'm like, yeah, no, of course, like, have a look. And it was really beautiful for me because she looked at it and it was as if like she saw portraits of her grandmother. And then she started telling me about, her history with Pompeii. And then at some point she's like, look, like, I'm on my break. Why don't I show you around? Because she realized I didn't have a map, and like she drew me a map, but she said that there was this one triangle that she can't take me, but she was like, I'll show you everywhere else and I'll point you in that direction. So we walked around Pompeii, and she started talking about her frustrations about over excavation. And what she meant by that is that we shouldn't excavate if we can't conserve. So in that way, it's the idea that to preserve the city itself and to not prioritize just tourism, to have more things to show to tourists. She showed me something that was in the process of being excavated, and I looked at it and I was just like, wow, that blue is so vibrant and that orange is just brilliant. And she said, like, it was so much more vibrant before, but exposure to the elements, to people, etc., it's deteriorating. So it hurts her. I could see like it physically hurts her. So towards the end, I basically just asked her this question. I was just like, but can you love what you can't see? Because if it's not excavated, you can't see it. So how can you claim to love it? She said to me, nothing. She said nothing. She had a pause. We walked for a little bit, and then she just started saying, I love this city. I feel this city. I touch this city. I love this city. And I just started to really like think about what it means to love something that you can't see, or to prioritize not seeing but still being able to love something. And this is as far as I'm going to go with what it means, the greed of seeing, the destruction of seeing. But it really made me question myself about what it means to be a tourist that claims to love a city that's not my own, or a country that's not my own. When I say love, I don't mean when you walk down the street and some guy just goes like, ciao bella. Like, no. What I mean by love is when I was in Rome and I was having a hard time because I love solo traveling, but that one day I felt alone. I felt by myself. And I was being really hesitant about ordering food, and Anna was really sweet and patient. And towards the end, she's just like, do you want dessert? And I let it out that I'm like, why not? It's my birthday. And she leaves really casually, and then the lights dim, and she starts approaching me with the song of happy birthday, and everyone in the restaurant starts singing happy birthday to me. So after one of the most delicious like mango cakes ever, I went up to her and I asked her if I could hug her. Hugged her, and then she's just like, we'll see each other again. And I was like, I don't know when I'll be back. And she's like, you'll come back. You have to come back. And this was something that I didn't really think about until now, because a similar event happened with Carolina, who I met at Bartolino. Yeah, where I met at Bartolino in Catania. Essentially, Carolina was so sweet. Like, they were explaining to me how to use my first mocha pot. She started showing me, her factory, like, which was like a block down. And on the way down, she was like saying hi to everyone, like, Signor, Signora, like, and then she was like showing me like her apartment, which was like right in front of where she worked. I was like, facile. And she's just like, because obviously my Italian isn't, 100%, but I try, and it's really nice when they also appreciate that you're trying. So we come back, I'm about to buy this coffee, and then she says to me, just like spontaneously, tu mi piace. And I was like, yeah, I smile. I mean, and then a friend came in and he was like, oh, are you on vacation? When do you think you're going to come back? And I was honest. I was like, oh, I'm not sure. Like, I really love like all the cities that I've been to so far, and I want to keep exploring different cities. And then it hit me. How can I claim to love a city and its people with absolutely no intentions of coming back, at least anytime soon. So confronted with my position as a tourist, confronted with tourism, confronted with this idea of how it is that it could actually be more destructive than constructive. But this is from Jessica's point of view, because the idea of tourism is I'm there for my pleasure. I'm there to, satisfy my curiosity for culture, and tourism is everyone else serving these needs. So when you serve the needs of someone who's not from there, you're prioritizing that strangers or foreigners' needs over the needs of her personal love for the city. However, I've spoken to many other Sicilians, and it seems to me that besides my point of view, what it is, it's very important to listen to what the people who actually live in Sicily have to say about tourism. And one of it was that it gives Sicily the opportunity to regain ownership of their image, to move away from the mafia stereotype, to actually show what it is that they're so deeply, deeply proud of. So that was the main intention for these two interviews. Also getting to know, obviously, like what is artigiano, like what does it mean to be artisanal during this time of progress and efficiency. But the point that I just want to make was that this idea of loving and this idea of tourism was something that was very difficult for me in terms of this cultural block, I think. Because when I was shooting, we were sharing in this, for me, like a very nice moment. And then coming back to Paris, sending out release forms because it's something that you do to just make sure that everyone's on board. It was a very complicated and much more difficult process than I anticipated. And then for me at first, I was just like, I didn't get it, right? Because I worked in LA for 5 years. You just sign away your name, you don't care. But then I started to think like, no, like this is actually extremely confronting and brutal. So I called, a few people, or I tried to communicate with a few people, and one replied and said, like, just do whatever you want, do whatever you feel. And I said, like, I can't do that. One, we live in a society, and it's not even just like a legal thing. I don't think I'm going to be sued for this, because I think it's really beautiful, and it's very clear that everyone is consenting, and it's not like some gâché thing, like something that's hidden. But like in the end, like I said that it's out of respect. This is my way of showing respect, and I'm not going to make something that they don't want, especially when I claim to admire these people or really appreciate their work. So just to kind of bring this to a close, it has been a very reflective experience for me, and I appreciate the warmth and the generosity and hospitality that I felt. And I also want to just say, like, thank you for the consent that I did receive, so that I can actually show what it is that I'm about to show. And also, I would like to thank Paul, because when I was processing how it is that I was experiencing this situation, besides all my philosophical and professional and ethical hesitations, Paul basically just said to me, it's good to see. So though I do not claim to show you even the slightest bit of what Sicily is, because I think the main thing to recognize is presence, the capacity to feel the love when you're there in their land, amongst, everything about it, like the food, the culture, the history. That's the only way that you can truly experience Sicily. So though I can't bring Sicily onto YouTube, I'm trying to bring YouTube to Sicily. So that being said, I'll just end on a paraphrasing of what Barthes says about love, which is his question of why it is that we qualify love based on how long it lasts and not how intensely it burns. So I thank everyone for their time and their patience, and here is my little slice framing of Sicily.
He dicho que bajes y es que ¿dónde está? Por acá y nos bajamos, ¿no? Sí, ahí ya. Ahora me hago de ahí.
More suspicious of cameras than the person holding it, Fabio and his business partner of Belli Freschi, gelati e granite artigianali guide us through a Sicily that distinguishes itself from Italy, one that handles violence and domination from the Arabic conquest to the mafia in a way that takes the bitter as one does the sweet, an approach that is so simple and in a unique way, playful. And then there's me, your third guide, a non-European based in Paris, equally naive and curious for culture.
Eat this, and after
What is that?
drink this.
Is that olive oil? Is this olive oil? Then it's not in the ice cream.
What do you mean, Elisabetta? You don't find any similarity?
I feel the oil after, but I don't taste the oil.
Yes, if you taste too much oil, I think it's not good. I think it's still an ice cream, so it's like you feel a little bit the flavor.
I do, but I don't taste the. I think I expected more.
More oil.
No, more flavor.
Yeah, okay.
Less vanilla cream.
Yes, it's no. There is no vanilla inside.
There's no vanilla
No
inside.
vanilla inside.
I have no tongue.
Maybe that's why I brought you the oil.
Thank you.
No problem.
It is with this smile that I recognize the warmth of Sicilians. For once on a bus in Catania, an older woman gifted me a bus ticket. She realized we shared the same stop and commanded, "Dove vai?" Motions of hands and intense staring in the eyes were exchanged until she finished with, "Capito," sealed with a kiss on my left cheek. "Sì, sì, ho capito." Here, one is loved.
Perché ho sognato anche mio marito, l'ho visto vivo, che mi ha detto tu non disturbare i miei sogni, mi ha detto così, tu non disturbare i miei sogni.
Capisco, grazie. Dunque, seconda domanda per me, cosa significa per te la parola artigianale? Pensi che sia incompatibile con il progresso in termini di efficienza? Do I pronounce it like that? Is okay?
Sì, ho capito.
Ok. So che sembra una domanda retorica, ma è una curiosità sincera per me.
Sì. Allora, penso che l'artigianato si sta riducendo a livello internazionale già nei paesi che hanno maggiore industrializzazione come America, Germania, Francia. L'artigianato tende a essere sempre meno. L'Italia e l'artigianato è stato il punto forte, l'economia italiana si regge sull'artigianato, però negli ultimi 20 anni anche qui la globalizzazione tende a far scomparire l'artigianato, però credo che una nicchia di mercato ce l'avrà sempre, sia come parte iniziale di un meccanismo industriale oppure come un bene di lusso, perché bene di lusso si intende lavoro only for people have much money. Mentre,
Okay.
lusso. Mentre prima l'artigianato era diciamo un lavoro per tutti i clienti, per tutti i ceti sociali, si offriva un servizio a tutti i ceti sociali. Oggi per i costi che ci sono tende sempre di più a rivolgersi a una clientela di persone ricche, perché oggi è diventato costoso un prodotto artigianale. But this work is beautiful because is free. Is free. Artigiano is free.
Come?
Free, libero. Free, libero.
Not libero, it's
No,
libero.
libero.
Okay.
No libero, così è libero. No, libero. Because you make what you want. Make what you like. And when what you like the people, is beautiful for you. Not only money, but for inside. So this passion. Understand my English?
No, it's perfect. Perfetto.
Good.
Ok, vi ringrazio per avermi dedicato il vostro tempo e per aver condiviso la vostra esperienza. Che qualcosa che vorreste fare sapere a chi vive all'estero?
Venite in Sicilia.
Perché?
Perché si sta bene, c'è il sole, il mare, la montagna e poi ci siamo anche noi.
Io invece mi piacerebbe che la gente comprendesse il valore reale delle cose, che dipende dal tempo e dal sacrificio che c'è dietro ogni oggetto, non dall'immagine che viene data solo grazie alla pubblicità, che magari definisce un bene di lusso che in realtà costa pochissimi euro, fatto industrialmente e viene venduto per un mare di soldi solo perché è pubblicizzato. L'artigianato tende
marketing.
a dedicare tempo e passione negli articoli.
Grazie mille.
Prego.
Grazie a
Grazie,
te,
ciao.
ciao.
Hai finito?
Grazie, grazie.
Grazie a te. Ora ti dobbiamo offrire qualcosa. Ti piace il mandarino al limone? Sì,
You
beh.
want to drink Catania drink? No alcohol. Is sugar, orange and lime.
Provo.
Prova.
Sì, buono. Me lo prendi uno pure a me. Aspetta che ti do i soldi. No, ti do i soldi io.